Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your horoscope for the new moon in Virgo happening on September 17th. So, we have a new moon that is taking place on September 17th in the sign of Virgo. This is happening at the later degrees of Virgo, where this is a Saturnian influence. And so, this is a huge new moon that is all about doing what is rational, doing what is of the highest value to you, what is realistic. And so, big time of planning, of organizing, of rearranging your life in a way that is healthier, that benefits you during this time. And so, for those of you who have been going through this moment of releasing, of trying to remove and trying to clear out these old influences in your life, especially coming off of that full moon in Pisces, this is a huge time to get started with that. Time to start clearing things out, cleaning things up here. And this is a huge new moon, one to remember for this year of 2020 as it is helping us move forward here, especially with it making this giant grand cross, this mutable grand cross that is involving our nodes. And so this is a new moon in Virgo that is making an opposition to Neptune in Pisces. And this Neptune in Pisces, of course, has been here for a while. It is in retrograde where we are reflecting on our dreams, on our imagination, on what we want to create. And with this opposition to Virgo, great time to use all of that imagination and creativity that we are deeply reflecting on to create the reality that you want. Of course, when we talk about Virgo, we are talking about planning, organizing, improving, doing things in a realistic, practical way. And so, how can you rearrange your life? How can you get started on that project that you've been wanting, that you know is beneficial to you, that will bring you wellness and abundance into your life? So, huge time of pulling those dreams back into reality, creating the story that you want here in real time by starting to take action. For those of you who have been procrastinating, who have been waiting, who have been wondering about how you go about things, huge time to start getting your planner out, start to come up with a step-by-step plan of how you are going to take action on the things that you want. Especially as we're moving forward here, huge changes that are coming here in October that is going to push us into November, and then we're going to see a massive shift in December. So, huge time to get started on whatever it is that you want to build and create in your reality that will help you improve, that will benefit you in some way, shape, or form here with this new moon in Virgo. So, huge new moon, and this is once again in that grand cross where it is squaring off our nodes. This north node, of course, that's in Gemini, Rahu, where there is this obsession of wanting to learn and discover what the truth is. A lot going on with the media, a lot going on with what is the story, what is really going on, and really not understanding or knowing everything at this time, waiting for the answers and the results to come through. Now, there's a lot of clarity that is coming through with this being in a trine to Jupiter, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit here. But with this squaring off these nodes, remember that that south node is in Sagittarius, where it's that expansive nature of wanting to learn, of wanting the abundance, the joy, the wishing, the hoping, the dreaming, the believing in something higher, that is in that opposition with the north node Rahu in Gemini, which is all about what are the true facts? What are the details? Are we looking at the fine print to see what is everything? Really taking a look at those details, at the information, and coming up with a logical decision of how we're going to get things done. And so this is a huge time of really letting go of those high expectations, of those hopes, those wishes, and really sticking to what is practical, what makes sense. Can we get straight to the point and come up with a logical, rational answer at this time? If not, then maybe we need to move on to the next thing that is something that we can work out here in real time, something that we can get straight to the point on and get moving. As this is a mutable Grand Cross, a lot of movement that's going on here, where this is all about adapting and changing, growing, improving, expanding. And so we want to move this energy, use this energy to start to shift things in our favor, start to work on those projects that we've been procrastinating on, start to get moving and going after the things that we want in a logical, rational way versus still sitting around waiting for something to happen, right? There's a lot of this South Node K2 energy of really just wanting to hope and wish for something better to come along. But really, where is Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, at? It is in Capricorn, where we must focus on our resources, what we have, what we can work with right now at this time. So Jupiter and Capricorn, always a very difficult transit to work with. And of course, we're coming off of that Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn, where we took the time to do this deep reflection of what are the things that we want to work on? What are the things that we want to improve? How do we want to find that better path? Find that goodness. Jupiter is about what is good, what is bountiful. How can we search for this higher experience? And so because it is here in Capricorn, it's all about the resource. It's all about what you have, what is rational, what is realistic. And so with Jupiter here, now Jupiter will be direct during this new moon. It comes direct on the 12th. And so it will be stationed direct here, where we're starting to move forward now with our dreams, our hopes, our wishes. We've done all this internal work to think about what we want to create, what we want to build. Again, that is rational, that we have the resources to do, the things that we are able to work with in this reality. Now, along with that, this Jupiter, of course, making a trine over to this new moon, it's partnering up with Pluto and Saturn. And Pluto and Saturn, of course, are still sitting in this retrograde. We are going to see these come out very shortly here. Saturn first, and then we will see Pluto come out on October. So this is a huge moment of watching these deep transformations, watching these deep limitations within our reality, within what we can do, what we can manifest. A lot of heaviness, right? And we saw that especially as that Venus and Moon were sitting in Cancer, that there was a lot of heaviness and depression around what was going on in our reality. Things that were out of our control, things that we could not accomplish or do in our reality. And as these are still retrograde, still a lot of deep reflection, still a lot of work that we need to do to realize these limitations, to realize the things that are falling apart. And especially realizing that all of this is in our favor. The things that are falling apart, the things that aren't working, the things that we can't fix right now are very much the things that are being cleared out of our lives for something better to come along. And so huge time of releasing and letting go. And if you are not letting go, this is where we see a lot that is being cleared out and cleansed out, especially with a new moon in Virgo, where this is all about our health, our wellness. This is all about making improvements and adjustments and what is good and nurturing for us. And especially with Neptune and Pisces being in this opposition, we have this full, complete story of our wellness spiritually and physically during this new moon, where this is a huge time to do what is beneficial to your soul, to your body, to your mind, to everything, making sure that you are in full alignment with what serves you 100% in your life. If you are trying to serve others, trying to help others without taking care of your needs, huge time to take a look at your own needs and what you need to do for yourself. especially as the ruler of Virgo is here, Mercury, sitting in the sign of Libra, where we're going to see it station in pre-shadow very soon here on the 23rd of September, and that will get us started on this journey leading up to that retrograde that we will see in October. So this is a huge time of making sure that we are balancing our lives in a practical way, making sure that we're not just doing for others and giving to others, but also giving back to ourselves, right? Libra is about relationships, balance, diplomacy, what works for me and what works for you. And so this is a huge time of making sure that you are 100% taking care of your needs, taking care of the things in your life that need improvement, that need adjustment, the things that are necessary at this time for you to progress. Now, this is also in a quincunx to Mars retrograde in Aries, right? And we saw Mars station retrograde on the 9th of September. And so this is a huge time of really reflecting on the things that you want to create. What are you passionate about? What is it that you want to act on? What is it that you're enthusiastic about? Really thinking and planning about these things that you want to get started on. Once again, huge time for improvements and adjustments. But this is the major piece here, as it's in this quincunx, right? That we cannot go about trying to improve our lives without planning, thinking it out, coming up with what are the action steps, how are we going to accomplish this and approach this, what is our intentions. And so really looking at the things that we're passionate about, taking a deeper look at it, and for some of us, coming across these roadblocks and these obstacles and difficulties where we need to take a different approach, where we need to take a detour, where we need to find a different plan, a different strategy of how we are going to get it done. So that is this huge new moon experience that we are going through here on September 17th, where this is all about improving our lives, making those final adjustments coming into these major changes that are coming up in our lives. And I did pull a card. We actually got 4 cards that came out for this one, and this is from the Black Moon Astrology deck. So the first card that came out was the 3rd house in reverse. So that 3rd house, very much connected to that Gemini energy where the North Node Rahu is at, where this is all about leaning towards what is rational, leaning towards the details, the facts, making sure that you have all the information, that you're taking the logical steps, not just hoping, wishing, and dreaming, but with that Neptune opposition over to this new moon, really using your dreams to take practical action, making these dreams a reality. And for the things that are too far ahead of you, the things that you can't do right now, saving that for the right moment and doing what you can take care of in this moment, what you can rationalize at this moment. And so really focusing in on how can we get to the point? How can we get things done, right? Gemini is that very quick energy. This is why it's all about the messages, right? The messenger. Because Gemini has this quick intellect, quick logical decisions, getting straight to the point, getting straight to what you want to get done and moving on to the next thing, not dwelling in this dream and this belief that we can't accomplish in this moment. And so, a huge moment of realizing that we're not completely letting go of this South Node K2. We're not completely letting go of this Neptune, of these dreams, of these beliefs that we have, of these hopes, but that we are leaving the bigger possibilities that we can't accomplish right now for the future and doing the things that we can accomplish in this moment, because these small steps, these small details are going to lead up to the big accomplishments. It's a huge moment of focusing on how can we improve upon ourselves right now? How can we focus on those details right now? How can we be that messenger that really is jumping from one accomplishment to the next, one small victory, right? One of the biggest issues that we come across for many of us is that we have our head full of these ideas and plans that we want to accomplish, which makes us very overwhelmed, very anxious, and we tend to lean towards procrastination, right? Because what happens when you fill a cup and you try to pour more water in it? It spills over, it's overwhelming, it's too much, right? And this is what we tend to do with our brains in this busy everyday world. Even during these uncertain times, many of us thinking about what we're going to do in the future, planning, thinking, hoping, wishing, all of this filling up our brains with more and more. And of course, this is going to be the shadow side of Virgo, where we are over planning, where we're over stressing, where we're over analyzing. It's too much information. And so for some of us, this means journaling. This means planning. This means coming up with small steps to get to the big accomplishment. Not taking these big hopes and dreams and just going with it, but breaking it down into smaller steps. Writing down all the thoughts in your head to make it clearer so that you have this focus on one thing and everything else is written down on your notes, on your schedule, right? So huge time for those of you who are overwhelmed, for those of you who have a lot that you want to accomplish, that you want to get done, and it seems like it's a lot of pressure, you can't get it all done, especially with this Mars retrograde, is how can we strategize better, right? This Mars retrograde is all about what is a better way to do it? What is a smarter way to take action? Because this is a retrograde, a reflection about going deeper within, about really reviewing. And so how can we start to strategize, start to plan our actions in a way that isn't overwhelming, in a way that isn't stress, in a way that isn't putting pressure on us, but that actually allows us to get the things done that we want, right? This is a Mars and Aries, where this is all about straightforward, direct action. And so we really need that point of focus where we're able to focus and lock in on one thing that we want to accomplish to improve and better our lives. Once we're finished that, moving on to the next thing and continuing, because this is a huge time. It's a huge portal, a huge doorway of possibilities, of opportunities, right? Because this is a grand cross that is dealing with mutable signs. There are possibilities, there are opportunities at this moment. But we must find some focus, because what are we dealing with these mutable signs? We're dealing with changing energy. We're in 1,000 different places at once, trying to do 1,000 different things, where it becomes overwhelming, it becomes very stressful, it creates anxiety, it creates worry, it creates stress. And so this is a huge time to find that outlet, to find that way to organize your life, to find a better way to improve upon your life. Next card here is the Grand Cross, which is exactly what we're going through in this new moon. So this is the obstacle here, right, is that we have too much going on. Too many hopes, too many wishes, too many dreams, too many thoughts, too many things that we want to accomplish, too many goals. And so how do we simplify this? How do we take a smarter, rational way? How do we work with the resources that we have? How do we take the little steps, the simple steps, to get to where we need to be in our lives at this moment? Next card here is the second house of owning. Once again, this is physical. This is a lot of Virgo, Capricorn that is going on here, where this is a huge time of how can we get physical results? How can we be practical? How can we be stable in our lives? Right? This second house is connected to Taurus, which is all about enjoying the simple things in life, simplifying and living in this moment, being in this moment, enjoying the physical pleasures. And so we can't forget during this new moon to enjoy ourselves, to do what we are passionate about. That Venus is still in Leo, right? We still have this pleasure, this joy, this optimism that we want in our lives. And so, are we doing what we love? Are we doing what brings us that joy and that fulfillment? Are we doing what is of higher worth? That Uranus is still in Taurus in a retrograde, where this is a huge time to reflect on how can we change our lives so that it is of the most value and worth to us, so that it is better, so that we can improve and evolve and progress in our lives into what is truly worth, what is truly of the highest worth, what is truly of the highest value. Many of us, we believe that staying in the same old job, staying in the same old relationship, staying in the same position that doesn't work is stable because we're afraid of change. We're afraid to move forward. We're afraid to let go. And so, huge time of looking at what is truly valuable, what is truly of the highest worth, and how can we utilize these changes, these adjustments to improve upon our lives, to give us a better sense of wellness. This is about our physical, our emotional, our mental, our spiritual health. How can we improve upon our lives at this moment? Last card here is the Void of Course Moon. And so this is a moment where, once again, if you are feeling like there's something missing in your life, if you're feeling like you can't complete something in your life, you're confused about something, you're overwhelmed, there's too much going on, you're lost in your thoughts, this is a huge time to come back to the basics, to plan, to schedule, to figure out what is the simplest way to improve upon my life at this moment. Once again, those small steps, those small moments of focus and clarity are going to get you to the big dreams that you are looking for in the future, so that we're not stuck in this place of being stressed out, of being overwhelmed, of taking on too much. But we're taking it one step at a time, and before you know it, you're at the goal. We're eliminating the procrastination. We're eliminating those moments of the burnout, of the loss of clarity, of the confusion, of the feeling of being overwhelmed and under pressure by taking a smarter, simpler route during this Virgo new moon. And so making sure that you are taking advantage of this opportunity. Now I'm going to do a quick rundown of the signs and where this new moon is going to be happening for those of you. And I do recommend this for your rising sign, as I'm going to be going through the houses. So starting off, this new moon is going to be in the first house for Virgos. So specifically for Virgos, sun, moon, or rising, but especially for those of you with Virgo rising, this is a huge time of improving upon your life. This is a huge time of making those little changes and adjustments to work on yourself, right? This is about your identity, your experiences, your personal issues, yourself. So really making those changes and adjustments are strongly going to affect those of you with Virgo rising. Now, for those of you with Leo rising, Leo, sun, moon, or rising, this is happening in your second house, where this is all about getting your finances, getting your projects, getting your security, your values in order. And so for those of you who have been really struggling with finding stable ground, really struggling with your self-worth, with your security, with really having that steady, stable ground where everything is in the right order, everything is the way it should. This is really a time for those of you with Leo rising or Leo sun or moon to really, like we said before, prioritize, live in the moment, focus on your immediate goals. What is the first and foremost thing that is of the most value that you need to take care of right now, prioritizing that, and then moving on to the next thing. For those of you with Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening in your third house, where this is all about your environment. And so for some of you, this means your family, your friends, or your home environment, of course, as we are going through this major unexpected times where you really want to make sure that the environment, the people, the place, the energy, the room that you're in is in a way that will help you prioritize your goals, in a way that will help you improve upon your life. If there's a lot of disturbances, a lot of distractions, a lot of chaos that is going on, then some of you may need to take a walk in nature, meditate, find that calm space within yourself. For those of you with Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be happening in your fourth house. Again, another major sign that's going to be affected by this new moon, as this is going to be on a major angle down in that IC where it's connected to your home, it's connected to your past, your memories, your emotions, what you are really feeling and thinking deep down. And so this is really a time of adjusting your thoughts, adjusting your feelings, making sure that everything that you are thinking and feeling is positive and in alignment with your life and your purpose. For those of you who are in a negative thinking pattern, really huge time to clear out those negative thoughts and to find some clarity, find some peace within yourself so that you can start to get in a mindset where you're ready to make those improvements and adjustments, where you're ready to move forward, where you're ready to, once again, move into that direction that is of the greatest wellness in your life. For those of you with Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening in your fifth house, where this is a huge time to use your skills creatively, to generate money, to express yourself. However, you want to use your creativity and your skills to benefit you, but huge time to tap into this energy to start a new project, to start a new creative hobby, to start a new business, a new interest, to really benefit and improve upon your life. For those of you with Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be a new moon happening in your sixth house, where this is all about literally your physical health and wellness, right? This is the original house of Virgo that we're talking about, where this is a huge time of really making sure your health is in order, making sure that your physical well-being is in order. For some of you, this could be a time where you want to start exercising or starting to make some healthy choices in your life. It could also be a time of reorganizing, replanning, and really getting things straightened out within your home life, dealing with your daily routine and responsibilities. It could also be a time where you want to start to organize or start something new within your work environment as well. For those of you with Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening in your seventh house. Another major angle where this is all about your partnership, your relationships, your legal agreements, other people, popularity, fame. And so this is a huge time to make sure that you are dealing with people who do benefit you and serve you, people who are there to support you, to encourage you, to help you through difficult times. If you are surrounding yourself by very negative, very critical people who are trying to pull you down, who are feeding off of your negativity and insecurities, which is going to be that shadow side of Virgo, you want to put yourself in a position where you are focusing on the positives, focusing on the support, focusing on what is going to help you get through these times. For those of you with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be happening in your eighth house, where this is a huge time of really going deeper into your fears, your insecurities. For some of you, your relationships, right? If you are in a relationship, big time of really looking on a deeper, more intimate level at what are the improvements and adjustments that can be made. And if everything is going fine in your relationship, looking at how can we continue to make this work. This is a huge time of looking at areas that need adjustment, improvements, areas that need to be maintained and that need to remain healthy. So, really taking a look at that area where are you ready to start a new intimate relationship? Are you ready to clear out some drama, some trauma, some crisis from your past, from old relationships? And so, this could also be a huge time where you're feeling old experiences coming up from the past, from your old relationships, whether that was a traumatic experience, whether that was a challenging experience, a lot of emotional ups and downs in the relationship. And so, a lot here to explore on a deeper level. This might be a huge time where you are exploring your sexuality, exploring intimacy on a deeper level. Also, on an intellectual side, it could be a time of exploring deeper topics, right? Looking more into these spiritual, occult topics, looking into mysteries, looking into investigating and researching on a deeper level. For those of you with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening in your ninth house, where this is a huge time to explore new possibilities. This may be a time where you are looking into starting up a new class, whether you are teaching or learning, starting on a new skill, learning from a mentor. This is a huge time of really looking on and improving and expanding upon your skills and what you want to learn and grow in your life. For those of you with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is happening up in your midheaven, your 10th house of your public status, your recognition, your goals, your achievements, your reputation that precedes you. And so this is a huge time of how can you work towards your goals? For those of you with Sagittarius rising especially, have you been slacking? Have you been really contemplating and thinking about what you want to do and accomplish? Then this is definitely a huge time where you want to take those steps to start to get the gears moving, to start to move more towards those goals and those ambitions that you want to see fulfilled. Even a huge time for many of you if you have a father figure or an inspiration that you are looking up to really motivate you, to get you moving on those projects, on those goals, on the things that you want to achieve at this time. For those of you with Scorpio rising, sun, or moon, this is going to be happening in your 11th house, where this is all about your friendships, your large social gathering, your future plans, your hopes, wishes, and dreams being fulfilled. And so this could definitely be a big time where you see a lot of success, a lot of achievement that is happening in your life. New opportunities, new experiences coming in that were very unexpected for many of you. It can also be a big time of gaining more friends, gaining popularity, gaining public appearance. And so this is a huge time where you can capitalize on your success, on your achievements, working and striving harder to see those results come through. For those of you with Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, especially for those of you with Scorpio Rising. Now, for those of you with Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be happening back in your 12th house of dreams, of imagination, of spirituality. And so for some of you, this is actually a time to go deep within, to go into reflection mode, to take a look at your inspiration, at your dreams, at your creativity, and looking at what is something that you can get started on, especially coming into the next new moon. And so where for most of you, this has been about planning, this has been about taking rational action, about what you're going to get started on. For those of you with Libra rising especially, big time of actually going within and reflecting on what you want to create, on what you want to get started. Waiting for that next new moon in Libra is definitely going to empower any goals that you have for yourself. So that was your horoscope for Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. And I want to thank Spirit for making this message possible. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.